Okay, we're live. Hey everyone, Dave Rubenstein here again, Editor-in-Chief of SD Times. I'd like to welcome you to the 10th installment of our SD Times live micro webinar series with VSM platform provider ConnectALL. So as the year draws to a close, we thought this would be a kind of a good time to examine the state of value stream management. So to do that with me today are, once again, Lance Knight, President and COO of ConnectALL, and Andrew Fuqua, Senior Vice President of Products. Thanks for being here, guys.
Hey, Dave, always great to do these with you. I just hope that I survive, but we only got a few minutes.
That's it. So let's get right in. Let's get right into it.
Right.
One of the things that we've spoken about this year as we look at the state of value stream was the messaging around value stream and some of the problems that we saw with that. I wrote a column about it earlier in the year. So I want to know if you guys still think that messaging problem still exists, if it's kind of congealing in some way, or, what are we talking about?
So, I personally really think it is. Now, I've ran into even more things that I've seen that prove that it's very kind of all over the place. People still don't know what it is. It's still different. I just talked to analysts today and they said, well, it's about the metrics. It's about this. Okay. But then they switched that and said, no, it's about automation or it's about governance, right? So it's hard to really understand, if you're looking into being part of value stream management, how it can help your organization. And the truth is, value stream management, like we've said, I don't know how many times before, it's human, humans do it. But there's, all this different pieces of it. And I think as an industry, what we have to do is relay to organizations how you can use value stream management to improve the initiatives you may have going on. How does value stream management help you with being more secure? How does it help you with being predictable against what you're delivering and delivering value? How does it improve how you're overall going to market? And all those things that Andrew and I have talked about all year long. And until we really get that down and really understand how we can help organizations to do it, I think it's going to continue to be this, what is it? How do I use it? And then, I'm not going to say the disinformation, but the misinformation of trying to get it to a spot where it's one thing is in every organization as they try to rebrand it and make it their own.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So I know the Forrester Wave just came out for value stream management just this week. And congratulations, by the way, on being included in that.
Thank you.
But I would, one of the things that we had talked about just before we came on was the fact that perhaps even their analysis of the market can be confusing for people trying to figure out where things are, especially on the tool side. So maybe you could talk to that a bit.
Yeah. So, when we started to respond to the wave, we started to realize that it was not about the metrics. It was about this. It was just about a bunch of things. So it's hard to put your finger on what it's going to do for you, right? So if it's just about metrics in the analytics, then it should have been this whole section on data model, all those other things. But there were sections on governance and improving flow and compliance, and how do we help organizations even stop builds or run builds, or how do we help organizations trigger releases? And ConnectALL does all those things. Mm-hmm. But you could see that it was kind of like just these things put together. And it's, I don't want to say about it in the wrong way, but metrics was in there, and that was an important part. And we have plentiful metrics, as they said, for what we do. But there was all these other sections that kind of confused us on where is this going to go. And, again, we did really well with tooling integration and operability. We do well with that. That's the core of our company, right?
But do you think that wave kind of reflects the breadth of activities that are falling under the value stream umbrella? Sure, you need the metrics, but sure, you need compliance, and sure, you need the connectivity.
Yeah.
And certain vendors are better at some of those things, and a few might have the full umbrella. But perhaps that could, in and of itself, just lend to the confusion.
Absolutely. But we're not getting to the point of this one structured place of this is what value stream management is. Right. Now, Andrew and I, we've said it's human. It sits on top of over everything. Right. It controls flow, does governance, does compliance, and gathers data for rich analytics. right? And that's exactly kind of what they had in there. But then we'll go to another company and it'll be, well, it's about analytics, or it's about this. It's about how I'm supporting a digital transformation with my business outcome goals.
Mm-hmm.
It's more value management, right? But is it value? Is it, but it's just, it's like I said, is it value stream management or is it value management?
It's such a broad topic that, and the tools can only do so much, and they can't do the things that the human is needed to do. So that, I think, necessarily in Forrester, you see a bunch of disconnected capabilities that many of the platforms have, and we're sort of evaluated based on capabilities where it sort of misses the higher level business value of how do you actually help the humans really actually improve the flow of the value through their system. That's what it really comes down to. And so each vendor has its kind of strength, and they talk about value stream management in their particular narrow slice. And you don't see a lot of people talking about how do we help humans really understand lean principles and apply them, and then how does the tool help you do those things?
Yeah. And if you look at some of the other companies, they're not talking about finding non-value added, value added activities. They're not talking about automating or Jiteco, or I always mess that word up. They're talking about just the metrics or the analytics or those types of things. So I think going forward, as we're running to the end of this, the future, I think we'll start to see these companies come together better on what it is and allow organizations to understand. And we're going to focus on this at ConnectALL. Allow organizations to understand how value stream management can help within the structure of their predefined initiatives. Mm-hmm. How can I use VSM to be more secure? How can I use VSM to accomplish my Agile goals? How can I use VSM to get business outcomes delivered quicker and faster and give unparalleled visibility like before? I think that's where it's going to go, where we finally get to really understand how in an organization you can use the principles and the tools to accomplish your goals and be more efficient. And I think reducing costs is going to be a big thing in the upcoming years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we've seen a lot of growth in this space. I think the first Forrester wave had 6 or so companies in it, and a few of them weren't really value stream companies, as Chris Kondo from Forrester says. Now there were over 20. So we definitely see there's growth in the space. There's uptake. Andrew, let me ask you, so where do you see this going next year, perhaps in the year beyond?
I don't think it'll happen next year, but beyond that, where I believe it's going to go and where I hope it's going to go is to include all of the product management stuff. Intake, paying attention to how ideas come into your system, idea management, all the go-to-market activities, objection handling, the value prop, sales enablement, product marketing. Those are sales enablement. Those things are part of the value stream for most any enterprise, and that's not at all covered by any of the value stream management platforms that I'm aware of. Yeah. But that's it's an adjacent space where there is tooling, where there are things that help with these activities that I believe is the next thing to fold into this value stream management space.
Mm-hmm. Great. It's almost like Agile, if you think about it. That started in development shops. Then organizations realized their whole organization needs to be more Agile. Mm-hmm. I think we're seeing a similarity with value stream, which kind of started on the quote unquote shop floor. And now businesses are looking at it from, as you say, right from the get-go of creating an idea till seeing that through to a product. It seems to be on a parallel course.
Exactly. Value stream management, Agile, and Lean are all based on these Lean principles. Mm-hmm. And because it's principle-based, they're applicable to manufacturing, they're applicable to software engineering and IT and HR and finance and all these processes, business processes. And so it does absolutely make sense to take these learnings as an organization and apply them across from end to end. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to just focus this learning and the organizational improvement in one area.
Yeah.
Great.
The other point there is you're not hearing him talk about a tool.
Right.
You know, we have a platform called VSM Platform, but these are principles that need to get taught along this journey. And we focus on teaching those principles at the same time. But a lot of companies aren't thinking about, how do I teach these principles? Value stream management, and we'll say this to the end of the day, it's a human endeavor, right? Humans look at their value stream and put automation in. Now, if you do that, call ConnectALL. We have the platform. But the point is that it's a human endeavor. There's no tool that went out on the shop floor that you set up to say, improve your value stream.
These tools and ConnectALL as well we can point out like via the metrics. We can point out, say, hey, this number doesn't look right, but you've got to take all of the numbers together, and then you decide what do you need to do about it. The lean principles can suggest here are the things that you would do, the things that would be recommended, but the human has to actually go do them. Apply them, make the process change, make the team change, the organizational structure change, evaluate whether it's working, decide whether the organization is undergoing too much change at one period of time.
Yeah.
So that's all human stuff.
Yep. So it looks like Elwood Blues has joined the micro webinar here. Have any final thoughts there, Elwood?
We didn't have one joke during the whole webinar, so I felt bad. I had to do something. Well, you know, these glasses have a story behind them. That's why I put them on.
Well, we're right up against time, Lance. Sorry.
I got one. We cool. My grandfather wore these on the shop floor at Niagara Mohawk in the 50s.
Wow.
When he started doing some of this stuff when he was worked in manufacturing back
What
then.
were they manufacturing that he needed sunglasses on the shop floor?
Transistors, transformers and stuff, right? So the glasses have a green tint to them for electrical whatever. But anyway, so I guess my last point on the whole thing and upcoming next year is you have to get to educating on the principles again. You have to be able to get started with VSM by mapping it. And I really look forward to maybe a refining of what metrics are important, because all the metrics are all over the place too. Companies like Allstacks and they're just doing metrics. So, and getting a point of view of which value stream metrics we should have. And I think it's going to be an exciting year for value stream management and what we do, because the value stream doesn't care whether what you put through it is valuable. It cares that you do it efficiently. And that efficiently means we can remove costs and help people be more efficient.
Well said. All right. Well, we're up against it. They call it a micro webinar for a reason. So once again, thanks to Lance Knight and Andrew Fuqua of ConnectALL. Thanks to our loyal listeners for joining us once again. And,
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yep. Wishing everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. And we'll be right back on it on the when the calendar flips the page. Till next time, I'm Dave Rubenstein. Have a great New Year, folks. Bye-bye.